sports betting brother, and hey, bring it up, and thanks for stopping by. My name is Boyd, and I'm a sports betting market analyst with OddsJam.com, where we teach you how to bet like a pro using all the tools, all the resources, and help you bet to make money consistently and mathematically. Now, today we're talking about how to use the positive EV page, how to use that particular feature, and just kind of go more into depth about that. We've seen some people have some questions to make sure that they're understanding it correctly and maybe understanding how to use that consistently. So I'm going to go through that today and help you use that on a daily basis to identify the positive expected value wagers. And let's go right now. Okay, guys, here we are at the homepage of OddsJam. And again, OddsJam is a betting tool. It helps you identify the best bets, the positive expected value bets. Positive expected value is a tool that you can see here in the drop down that we're going to go to right now. I use this about 94.7% of the time. A lot. And I have found that when I don't use it, it's very detrimental. And as you can see here, let me kind of break this down and show you what this means and kind of how to just go through in depth here on the positive EV page. So first of all, left-hand side here, you can see the percent edge. And this is a perceived edge that we have with the no vig odds. You can see here the comparison. So what this means is basically it's a 3.5% edge, which was actually, perceived as really, really good. Now, the question is, are you comfortable with taking a player prop here, a player receiving yards, a player prop here over at Caesars at plus 112, the no vig odds. This is when the vig or the commission from the sports books is basically extracted. Should be, according to OddsJam, about 104.84. So you're getting about 8 cents of value there, 7 to 8 cents value. So it's a nice chunk. And so that would be how you would identify the sports book, the actual play, the line you should get, and the positive expected value as far as a profit. So that would be one you could consider. Now you could consider plays only above a certain percentage, but I can tell you're always going to find some very good profitable plays even further down into the ones and twos. But if you kind of want to, set a target initially just to keep yourself focused, that will be very helpful. Maybe you start with say 2.5 and above. So you can also use this in your settings to set these filters according to the sports books of choice, the sport of choice. Everything here is customizable. And so if you want to go in and just do certain sports books, let me tell you the positives and the negatives of that. I've got several unchecked here only because it might be a sports book I don't have in my area. However, I've found that the more sports books you add, the more price points, the more data points, and the more detailed you can get. So it's a little bit disappointing sometimes when it comes up with a sports book that you may or may not have. So there's sort of a checks and balances there of what you prefer. Maybe you do a little bit of each. Filter it in with as many books as you possibly can. And of course, you can do it by sport, by league, et cetera, et cetera. You can also do it with player props, with mainline bets, and the type of market you want to get into. So you can set this according to however you want to search. Maybe you're not into player props or don't care to bet on player props. You certainly can do that. So that's the initial start here of the positive EV page. So next up, I wanted to show you here, you have recommended filters. And if you leave this on, that is a smart thing to do relative to the proven profits that have come out of the recommended filters. Now, that's okay. You can turn this off. Go ahead and turn this off if you want to do some customizable, settings of your own. Totally okay. That's half the fun, is going here and set some new filters and clear some new things for yourself. And I'll show you here in a minute how that can happen for you very, very quickly. You can go in here and check off the various sports books. You can go in here and just pick out certain sports if you want. And certainly the markets is kind of the big one. This is where you say, well, I just want to look at main market bets and alternative market bets, and we'll skip the player props. Helps you kind of focus a little bit too. If you're maybe a person that wants to use the positive expected value page a little bit later in the day, maybe when you have more information, maybe when more lineups come out or confirmed, and then kind of pop into that market, sort of take that information out initially, maybe early in the day, put it back in late in the day is one way to do it. I leave it in 24/7, so you do it however you want, but that's just how you would search. Again, mainline markets are basically point spreads, totals, and money lines. So that's another way to hunt And again, that's what I'm going to try to do in these videos to help you get better in identifying how to use these tools. One thing is providing the tool, which is OddsJam. The other thing is teaching you how to use the tool and or tools so that you can really hone your skills on it, because it's definitely a data-driven, highly successful product. Okay, guys, a couple other really critical things that I want to show you and talk to you about on the positive expected value page of OddsJam is this recommended bet size. And what I have done is set a budget of, say, $1,000, not say, $1,000 on a Kelly Criterion system. And what that does is, you're getting started, it helps you build your bankroll. So it kind of helps you with some guidance on the math here. It helps you guide, the type of play you have relative to your set budget amount with the odds and the percent edge you get. So it calculates that for you. Now, certainly it's your call, your choice, but if you want to stay consistent and kind of stay within that program, it really does all the thinking for you. So again, you would, in this case, say, I'm going to wager $40 on this player passing touchdowns of Brady under 1.5 on the Niners Buccaneers game coming up. So it tells you the percent edge. And again, you can set this in your profile, in your settings. If you have a different type of Kelly Criterion, obviously you're going to do your own thing. So if you want to set it at a higher amount, that's fine. It's going to calculate that for you. Now, not to say that these $5 and $10 bets or $20 bets can't be profitable, because they definitely are. It's giving you just the correlating math. Okay, so it really is taking a lot of the thinking out of it for you and does all the research. Now, what that does, let's give you an example. Let's say I want to go ahead and place that. I could hit this button, and let's say you want to hit this button here and do a little quick math. It's going to show you the Kelly multiplier there is 1. The odds are minus 122. You have a win percentage of about 56.76%. So if you wanted to increase your Kelly multiplier, let's say to 2, it's going to let you know that you would be wagering a different amount. So now you'd have $80 to wager if you wanted to adjust your Kelly Criterion numbers. So what you could do is add this bet to your bet tracker and then hit save. Okay, let's say you're going to save the $40 amount, hit save. So you'll see here in a second, I add everything to the bet tracker. And the bet tracker is correlated and tied to the positive expected value page. So up here at the bet tracker, it's going to show that we just made that wager and place that bet. And of course, you have to go to the sportsbook and get that thing placed. So you'd have to immediately go to Underdog Fantasy and get that bet in. That's part of a pick 5, but I'm just giving you this as an example. To get this bet in, it's going to say it's pending. And as you can see here, you have the recent bets we've had going, and kind of keeps track of it for you. And it's kind of nice. You can go through and start to use the bet tracker in correlation with the positive expected value page to kind of see how you did. I had one last night. I wanted to flip. So happy with the wager, so happy with the bet. And let me see if I can find it here, because it was a good one. Ended up losing it, but this is part of it. So we put $100 to it. Thought, nice, got in great here. I thought over at Superbook at minus 110. Closing line value is minus 157, and we were at 3 rebounds with about 14 seconds left. He had a 4th rebound, ended up losing that bet in the last 14 seconds. But anyway, keeps track of all this for you, which is good, because you can start to see where things are working out for you on the positive EV page, and then maybe where your weaknesses are. You want to, maybe look a little bit different. Also keeps track of the pending bets you have going for later today, your current ROI, and if you're beating your CLV. So we're having some decent luck with that. I'd like to see it closer to 50%. And of course, you always want to have this as high as possible, but we've had a nice little profit here, over the recent times. So that's definitely a big part of connecting the positive EV with all of this information, so that you can identify the wager, identify the amount, identify the sports book, all the details you need to go. And so you'll actually find yourself sort of searching or hunting for various types of bets. I would call them at the money, which means I don't do as many alternative lines. So, again, even if you're down to the lower positive edges here, you still might find a wager that you kind of like. You feel comfortable. It's not too big of a dog to where you don't feel like you're at jeopardy. But it's amazing how some of these dogs really work out well, and definitely that's how you can catch up, and you can hit a lower percentage of wins by having a higher percentage of positive EV dogs. All All right, sports bettors, there you go. There is the details about the positive expected value page. And so for those of you who say, how do we place a positive EV bet? Well, it's your choice, your call. You get to choose amongst all those options and all those choices. And of course, the tools are there to help you identify which one you believe you have the best edge on, obviously with the math to your left, also with the math helping you with the Kelly Criterion and the money management, the bankroll management to help you with that, to help that decision. Obviously showing the sports book, showing you the wager, everything you need to know about finding and placing a positive expected value wager. So I'm going to go on and talk more about the arbitrage tabs and other tools that we have with OddsJam, help you learn how to use those tools because there's so much there. It's a very robust, set of tools there at OddsJam. If you want a free trial, we have a 7-day free trial for you. Hit the links down below for that. And as always, appreciate you watching, and let's go make some mathematical money.